All right, today we're going to start with the nation. Tinubu to Nigerians, let's shun ethnic religious rivalries. Federal government stops budgetary allocation to ICANN and others. Northern to invest $12 million in agri sector. FG serviced debt with 1.2 trillion naira in Q1. Nigeria Immigration Service promotes 7,000 men. Monarchs pray for Akeredolu. Appeal court upholds jailing of internet fraudster for 525 million naira scam. CBN sells 2.6 billion naira Chinese yuan in currency swap deals. And LASU, best student on Edo payroll and sponsorship. Cool. All right, which story are we starting with?
The Calabar Division of the Court of Appeal this weekend upheld the conviction of a notorious fraudster, Scales Olatunji, found guilty for internet fraud and money laundering by the Federal High Court, sitting in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. So Justice Agatha Okeke had, on June 27, 2022, convicted Olatunji of 45-count charges of internet fraud and money laundering that was preferred against him by the Uyo Zonal Command of the EFCC. And he was then sentenced to 235 years imprisonment without an option of fine by the trial judge, Olatunji. So Olatunji was prosecuted following the receipt of a petition by Oslo Police District, Norway, requesting the assistance of the EFCC in investigating a network of Nigerian citizens who had serially duped some Norwegians. Now, when they carried out the investigation, it showed that the convict belonged to a syndicate of internet fraudsters, and they specialize in business email compromise. And he defrauded the Norwegian government and its citizens to the tune of 525 million. So Naira, when it was changed to Naira. So that was how it happened, and now he's been sentenced. And
All right, so our president was at Durham Barracks yesterday, praying ground. And President Bola Tinubu was saying that he enjoined citizens to shun ethnicity and religious division. According to him, he said that we must pray for Nigeria. I thank Almighty Allah for keeping us in good health till today. Pray to him to grant us robust health and prosperity. May our sacrifices turn into prosperity. We have to make the sacrifices, and that is clear, but Allah will not give you a burden that is too much for us to carry. And he enjoined that we should just shun all forms of ethnic rivalries and focus on how we can unite Nigeria, especially during this season of sacrifice.
That sounded like a Bible story. They will not give you more than you can.
Yeah.
So the federal government has said that it will stop budgetary allocation to professional bodies. The DG of the Budget Office of the Federation, that's Ben Akabuiz, he said they will no longer be captured in national budgets. He said, so going forward, starting 1st of January, all affected professional bodies will be fully responsible for their personnel, overhead, and capital expenditure. They say some of these professional bodies already have income-generating capacity, like ICANN. You know that they already sell their registration PIN, they charge an exemption fee for those who want to skip certain exams and sell study packs. ICANN also charges for examination with separate fees required for each diet and both skills and professional examinations. So if these professional bodies are already generating income for themselves, our federal government doesn't need to, keep sending money to them. I didn't even know that was something that they did, funding them. Of what use, really? Maybe to encourage them in the beginning, and now they don't need that encouragement, So we have different bodies like ICANN, I guess, Nigerian Institute of Management, all those sort of bodies. So they are self-funded now.
As it should be.
Yeah, I was going to take the story of the currency swap. CBN has sold the Chinese yuan in the tune of 2.6 billion in the year 2022. This was a way to combat the pressure on dollars, and the swap deal was signed in 2018, renewed. It expired in 2021, was renewed in 2022. But the good news about this is the auction now takes place every fortnight, which means like every 2 weeks. And the transaction is going to help provide Naira to Chinese companies that are doing business in Nigeria and provide Chinese yuan for Nigerian companies that are doing business in China without having to go through the bottleneck of first switching to dollar before switching into yuan. So it was celebrated when it took place. I'm happy that it's been successful so far. I just think that more people need to know about it, especially if they are doing their business within China. I just realized now that it's not all people doing business in China. A lot of people are doing Asian businesses, and so you might not necessarily need the Chinese one, but if you can strike this kind of deal with other Asian-related other countries, we can pay them.
This will benefit my husband's business.
Currency, and just apply for the auction. So they'll just get the process. Nigerians should not just believe these things are not working, because I thought it wasn't working until I read the report and realized it was actually been working. So get the information. The information is domiciled with the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Markets, and you reach out to them to get the deal.
Okay, moving on now to the Punch. Salah, current pains necessary, says Tinubu government preach unity, and governors preach unity. Community groans over bad road, seeks Abiodun's intervention. Ladoja rejects Makinde's planned elevation of high chiefs. Drama as Senate ex-spokesman, the delegate supporters clash at Eid ground. 120 billion naira USSD debt won't be cancelled, telcos tell banks. Marketers project 700 naira to the litre per petrol. And Nigeria's digital infrastructure inadequate for cashless economy, says World Bank. Let me start with the human interest story, because YK is quite, has been on this matter for a while. So residents and commercial transporters operating in the Magboro community in the Obafemi Awode local government area are groaning over the bad state of road connecting the community to the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And I also like to link that to YK's area. What's that area?
Alagbole.
Alagbole also, because it's still in Ogun State. The residents, some of who are saying they live in Power Line, Gas Line, Makogi, Igodo, among other areas, are lamenting the hardship because of the big potholes that their vehicles have to go through to get to their destinations. Particularly, the reporter spoke to a bus driver, Jamiu Ayeni, who claimed that his bus got stuck in one of the potholes during the downpour over the weekend. I'm tired of plying this road. How much am I collecting from passengers to continue to this kind of suffering? And I'm re-echoing this because YK sits here every single morning talking about that Alagbole road that it needs to be fixed. So since it has been abandoned, so we need Governor Dapo Abiodun to please see what he can do to help us ensure these roads are fixed immediately. Okay, another story. Let's just go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our Punch review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch story in Punch.
Yeah, so all marketers have projected that the pump price of petrol could rise above 700 per litre in northern Nigeria starting from July 1st. So the National Controller Operations Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Michael Satui, told the Punch yesterday that prices could rise to above 700 in the north once independent marketers start importing products from July. He said those living in the northern states could pay as much as 700 to a litre and above for 1 litre of petrol. Those outside Lagos should expect to pay around 610. Residents within Lagos will be paying about 600 naira per litre. And that also depends on the exchange rates, the current crude price at the international market, and the landing cost. These are some of the things that the marketers will put in place to fix their prices. And he said that they are currently licensing importers right now. So the NMDPRA is currently licensing importers right now, and they're making arrangements to get full and fresh products into the market. But that will also depend on the market fundamentals. However, I know Nigeria has been supplying countries like Benin, Republic, Cameroon, Ghana. Right now, those ones are selling for about 800 naira per litre. So ours may still go higher than the 700 projected, but we are hoping that market forces, when a lot of marketers start bringing in the fuel, the prices will now balance itself out, because customers and consumers want to go to those petrol stations that sell lower and are able to buy. So we should just be a little more patient and allow the market forces play it out.
So I have an update on the friction between the telcos and banks concerning the USSD debt. We know the USSD debt comes to 120 banks. So this is the service that allows for people to do financial transactions using their bank apps. Right. And the problem is that banks have not remitted to the service providers. So they will collect the money from customers for the service, but they will not remit to those who are providing the service. So they've been going back and forth. You know, they gave them some letters saying that you know, they should pay up their debt or they'll be disconnected. But the banks haven't, especially the major banks, the big banks haven't responded yet. And, you know, there was a question that if they would forgive them, they said there's no way they will ever forgive them. Say 120 billion, they will pay it to the last kobo. And that, you know, it just seems unfair, but they said banks, they have the moral obligation to pay for this. So we'll see how this works, because it means if they do not pay, then we will not be able to do those transactions over our phones.
Are we still even
and I don't think banks will be willing to let that go. Yeah.
So the story in Ibadan, or rather in Oyo State, continues, but focusing on Ibadan. The former governor of Oyo State and the Otunba of Olubadan of Ibadan land has said that he is rejecting the Governor Makinde's plan to elevate high chiefs into being obas, that he doesn't want any crown other than the crown of Olubadan at the right time. He said that the governor should not manipulate the tradition. He said that, well, that the focus, that currently the way the tradition in Ibadan land is, mortgages are higher than some obas. Mortgages within Ibadan, which is like the ruling compound, are equal to and even above many other obas in other communities, that they install bales within their Ibadan land. And they are saying that they don't want to wear, he's saying he doesn't want to wear any crown. The governor had already communicated in a letter to Olubadan that they'll be elevating all the 11 chiefs into being obas, and they'll be doing that on the 7th of July. But the person speaking out right now was the former governor of Oyo State and the Otunba.
Okay, Daily Sun, Tinubu asked Nigerians to make more sacrifices. Obi of Onitsha heads committee to harmonize Igbo culture. Atiku Wike fight shifts to Senate over minority leader's seat. Tinubu's London trip is not for medical checkup, insists APC. PDP APC trade blames over alleged attacks on Adeleke on prayer ground. Why I won't accept beaded crown, only authentic Olubadan crown, says Ladoja. Obi faiths Muslims, says love unity will take Nigeria to desired height, and structure of my government will soon start taking shape, says Governor Makinde. And Archbishop tasked National Assembly advocates end of election cases before inauguration. Okay.
You know, social media had started speculating that the president, after the Paris summit, went to London for a medical visit. The speculation was so, the people watching the president's affair, let me quote Son, he said, watchers of the president's affairs have repeatedly argued that he's grappling with ailing health, that aside from his fashion event, they feel like he went for a medical checkup. However, officially, from the special advisor to the president on special duties, communication and strategy, Dele Alake, said that the visit was a private visit. It wasn't a visit to his doctors. It was not a medical trip. It was a private visit. He said that, why is it that every time the president travels, people will be speculating he went for treatment, yet not once did any of this speculation come to pass? Everything they speculated against the president didn't materialize. For God's sake, why can't they just jettison this mentality of the man is sick? When you investigate, you will discover those making these statements are not doctors. So he has come to debunk it, said it is all, nobody's 100%.
Okay.
It wasn't a medical trip.
Yeah, so the National Executive Committee of Ahanes Ndibo Worldwide constituted a standing cultural committee headed by Obi of Onitsha, Alfred Achebe, and Chairman of Traditional Rulers Council in the rest of Igbo states are also members of this. And they said the core mandate of the committee is to harmonize various aspects of Igbo culture, particularly the New Yam Festival, Iriji, with a view to having a common cultural calendar. So what they're trying to do is to make sure that they make it pick like certain dates and make it like a festival where all Igbo people can have that New Yam Festival at the same time. They are also picking a date for the Igbo Day celebration holding September 29. So this is to avoid bastardization of the various Igbo cultures and see how they can, put them all together so that at specific times they can be celebrated.
So they do them at different, they do it at different times.
Of course. In your own area, you do your own New Yam Festival.
All right, so presidential candidate for the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has celebrated the Eid al-Adha with Anambra Muslim community in Onitsha, while calling on Nigerians to embrace peace, unity, and brotherly love. He was visited by the leaders of the Anambra Muslim community and said he decided to celebrate with the Muslim community to show the brotherly love and unity that should exist amongst Nigerians, irrespective of tribal, political, or religious belief, and to start fulfilling the promise of helping to renovate the Awka and Onitsha mosques. Okay, let's move on quickly now to Vanguard. Presidency fires back at PDP LP over alleged anti-people policies. Short ethnic religious rivalry, Tinubu urges Nigerians. We must interrogate SDG, says scholars. 24-hour ultimatum, 3 suspected killers of naval officer in Undo arrested. Idil Kabir, CDS Chief of Army Staff, vowed to tackle insecurity. Stranded travelers on Benin-Akure Highway robbed. Pension registration drops 10% as Pencom go after defaulters. Lassuth performs first non-surgical hole in heart repair. Anxiety over abduction of 8 oil workers in Lagos. And drama as Adeleke's aide, ex-Senate spokesman, clashed at Eid prayers. Okay, which story? Are we starting in Vanguard?
Just quickly to say that Pencom is saying that workers' interest in contributory pension scheme, that the CPS, has waned in the first quarter of 2023, and that the number of new enrollments into the retirement savings account has dropped by 10.2%. That's a lot. They're also saying that they're still going after defaulters, so employers that are not paying up for the pensions. And right now, they have forwarded 4 defaulting employers to Pencom for this misbehavior. It also goes to show, I mean, in the report, there's just how much they've made, how much they've recovered over the different months in this first quarter.
Okay, so Professor Sylvester Odion Akane, one of the scholars who spoke at the 5th Faculty of Social Science Annual International Conference in Lagos University, that's LASU, was saying that we must question and interrogate the SDG goals. According to him, he said that we need to question the rationale of the SDGs based on the fact that they were formulated by our colonial masters. According to him, I would like to say that the question on development has remained permanent in the academic discussion, not only in Africa, but across the world. But the position of Africa makes it imperative that we must continue to interrogate the question of the development in Africa. We choose a theme, and to ensure that for us as social scientists, we must fish out what is wrong with the policies because they are articulated based on global collectives like the United Nations played a really. So according to him, your colonial masters cannot be the ones to decide what the SDG goals should be, and we should be the ones to, as Africans, determine what our own goals should be based on our own peculiar circumstances.
So I want to tell the story of robbery along the Akure Benin Road. I took the story on Monday, and the local government chairman of Ose Council, Dennis Adekola, confirmed that robbers have been attacking people stuck in that road. They attached a picture in Vanguard that shows a really deplorable road. This is a major connecting road that connects Idoani, Ipele, Ishua, Kaba Highway, and it's in Ondo State. They said the road is in huge state of repair. Many articulated vehicles break down within the road, and after complaining several times about this, robbers are now knowing people that are trapped within that traffic have been coming to attack people and stealing their phones, money. He said farmers that are now approaching harvest period are wondering how they'll be able to move their harvest from the farms to the cities because this road will be disconnecting them from being able to sell their goods in the cities, and it might also affect food sustainability. So they are crying out and asking the Ondo State government to step in, the FEMA, federal government, to bring a lasting solution to the poor state of the road. Yeah.
So the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT, successfully carried out a non-surgical repair of a hole in heart defects. The procedure is known in medical science as ventricular septal defect closure, and carried out by experts at the hospital's cardiac catheterization laboratory. And they said since they had instituted that laboratory, they've done over 120 procedures successfully. So this one is a non-invasion kind of procedure. They are not opening the heart now. They are using something like a disc to, cover to bring the right and the left part of the heart together where the probably the child or the adult has the hole inside, and this has been successful. So this is happening in Nigeria now, in Lagos, in Lasso. It's a good one. Congratulations.
You don't need to go abroad.
That is, let's do a few more before we can start doing
But
this.
the 120 procedures.
Oh, sorry.
Please, don't play with us.